You're not stuck in debt because of one bad decision. You're stuck because of a system that turns small mistakes into years of your life. Because if you were truly in control, you would not be paying every single month and still be standing in the exact same place. So the real question is this: what exactly are you trapped inside? Be honest with yourself right now. Your salary arrives, and within 48 hours, it is already gone. Not wasted, not thrown away carelessly. Just gone. Rent, food bills, transport. Then something small happens. A late night food order. A quick upgrade you told yourself you deserved. And then that one message appears on your phone. Minimum payment due. You pay it immediately. You feel responsible. You feel like you are doing the right thing. But nothing changes. Next month arrives. Same stress, same number staring back at you, same pressure sitting in your chest at 2 a.m. So if you are doing everything right, why does it feel like you are slowly falling behind? Let me show you something real. David is 24 years old. First proper job, decent salary, nothing extraordinary but stable and consistent. One ordinary day, his phone breaks completely. He does not have enough cash sitting around. So he pulls out his credit card. Just this once, he tells himself. $800, no big deal, he will handle it. Next month arrives, he pays the minimum amount. Everything still feels under control. Then life happens, because life always happens. Friends invite him out for the weekend. He upgraded his headphones because his old ones were breaking anyway. Orders food a handful of times during a stressful week at work. His balance now: $1,300. That night, he opens his banking app. Stare at the number for a few seconds. Then close it. Not because he doesn't care, but because he already knows it's worse than he expected. He is still paying every single month without missing a payment. But his debt is not shrinking. It is growing. And this is exactly where most people do not realize something critical. They have already crossed the line. How the trap actually starts. Here is the thing most people completely misunderstand. Debt does not begin as pressure. Debt begins as relief. Read that again slowly. In the exact moment you swipe that card, you feel better instantly. Problem solved, stress gone, crisis handled. And that feeling is genuinely dangerous. Because your brain quietly learns something in that moment. Debt equals solution, no problem. Think of it like taking painkillers for a deeper injury hiding underneath. The pain disappears completely. But the real problem keeps growing beneath the surface. So when does this actually become a trap? Not when you first borrow the money, but when you stop noticing that you borrowed it. Here is what is actually happening in the United States in 2026. Total credit card debt has crossed $1.1 trillion. Average interest rates are sitting between 20% and 25%. The average person is carrying over $6,000 in credit card balance. And the part that should genuinely disturb you: most of these people are only paying the minimum amount required each month. Which means they are not getting out. They are staying perfectly inside the trap. The minimum payment illusion. Let me break this down as simply as possible. You owe $3,000 on your card. Interest rate is 22%. Your minimum monthly payment is around $90. You pay for it every single month without fail. You feel responsible and disciplined. But here is what is actually happening behind that number. Roughly $50 of your payment goes directly to interest charges. Only about $40 actually reduces what you owe. That is it. At that rate, it takes 8 to 10 years to fully clear $3,000. And by the time you finish paying it off, you will have paid close to $6,000 total. Double the original amount. And here's what almost nobody realizes. If you keep repeating this pattern across multiple purchases, you're not losing money. You're losing years of your income paying for your past. For the exact same purchase you made years ago. Now imagine you keep spending normally during those 10 years. Because nobody stops living their life. Lifestyle creep. You still go out with friends. You still buy things when you need them. You still upgrade occasionally because your old things wear out. Your brain adjusts to this reality and makes it feel completely normal. And because it is not physical cash leaving your hands, it genuinely does not feel real. It is like adding weight to your back 1 kilogram at a time. You barely notice it happening. But after enough time passes, you cannot stand up straight anymore. So if the problem starts this small, why does it eventually destroy people financially? The system is built for this. Because the system surrounding you is specifically structured to keep you inside it. Not because banks personally dislike you, but because the structure itself is designed this way. Banks do not need you to completely fail. They simply need you to stay comfortably inside the loop. Here is exactly how that works. High interest rates that compound quietly every month. Low minimum payments that feel manageable and responsible. Easy access to additional credit whenever you feel the pressure building. That combination is not random or accidental. That is a deliberate strategy. The system does not want you debt-free. It wants you comfortable enough inside the debt that you stay. But what happens when that comfort slowly turns into survival? The breaking point. This is where everything finally shifts and stops being manageable. Your numbers no longer work no matter how you arrange them. Monthly income, $3,200. Monthly expenses, $2,600. Monthly debt payments, $900. You are losing money every single month. So what do you actually do? You swipe again. And now something fundamentally changes in your situation. You are no longer borrowing money for things you want. You are borrowing money just to survive the month. And once that starts, it doesn't slow down. It accelerates. Food, fuel, basic bills. This is the exact point where people begin telling themselves, I just need one good month and I will fix everything. But that one good month never arrives. Where it hits mentally. This is where the damage stops being just financial. You stop opening your banking app entirely. You avoid thinking about money because thinking about it feels physically painful. You scroll through your phone and see people your exact age moving forward in their lives. Same age, same effort going into their days. Completely different results showing up. And you quietly start asking yourself, what am I actually doing wrong? Here is the honest answer. Nothing. You did not fail as a person. You entered a system that is genuinely easy to walk into. And deliberately slow to walk out of. Why escape feels impossible? Because the pressure comes at you from both directions simultaneously. On one side, interest keeps compounding and growing every single month. On the other hand, the cost of living keeps rising. And caught directly in the middle. You. Simply trying to keep up with both. Right now, more than 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Personal savings rates are near historic lows. Debt levels across the country are breaking records. This is not a rare situation happening to irresponsible people. This is the normal experience for millions of consistent, hardworking people. Debt does not trap lazy people. It traps consistent, disciplined people who simply never get ahead. So what do you actually do when you realize you are already inside? 3 things that actually move you forward. First, freeze the damage completely. Stop adding any new debt right now. No exceptions whatsoever. Because every single new dollar you add extends your timeline significantly. You cannot dig yourself out while still digging deeper at the same time. Second, destroy one target fully. Pick your smallest debt and attack only that one. Ignore every other balance temporarily. Pay the minimum on everything else and throw everything remaining at the smallest one. When it disappears completely, that moment of momentum changes your behavior. And changed behavior is what actually changes outcomes over time. Third, create artificial pressure on your lifestyle. Temporarily cut your spending down hard. Not permanently, not forever. Just long enough to generate real extra cash flow each month. Because right now, your comfort is directly costing you your financial freedom. You are not cutting back. You are escaping. Tell me honestly in the comments. Do you think this system is deliberately designed this way? Or do people simply fall into it without any structural intention behind it? If any part of this felt like your actual reality right now, comment trapped below. And if you want to understand how money genuinely works, Not the surface level information you already know, but the actual system operating underneath it. Subscribe. Because once you clearly see how this works, you stop making the same expensive mistakes on repeat. The uncomfortable truth is this: most people will not get out. Not because they are incapable of doing it, but because they will keep telling themselves the same thing every month. I am fine, I will fix it later. And that later never comes.